name is Amber, and September is Spinal Cord Awareness Month, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and about my injury. So about 2.5 years ago, I sustained a C5, C6 level spinal cord injury. What started out as a totally normal day turned into the most traumatic day of my life. I was feeling lightheaded, and I had been for quite some time. I didn't know at the time that I was struggling with low blood pressure. I found out after the fact, but I was getting ready for work, running late for a meeting, got that feeling of lightheadedness, and I didn't want to sit down. I just wanted to push through and get to my meeting. Bad idea. I fell and hit my head just right on the wall to where I broke at C5, C6. When I woke up, my fiance was right next to me. He had heard me fall. I knew instantly that something was very, very bad. I knew I was paralyzed. Called the ambulance, rushed to the trauma center where I underwent emergency surgery, and that's how my journey began. People ask, what's the worst part about having a spinal cord injury? And the truth is, it's different for different days. So immediately after my injury, I was pretty depressed. I felt like my life was completely over, and it feels that way sometimes even far after the acute stage. So, you know, the hospital was definitely tough, and the pain and the therapy and pushing through. I mean, you want to do all of those things because you want to get better, but it's tough. And then you kind of go past the acute stage and you get back into a normal setting, you get back to home, and things really start getting rough. For me, I really valued my independence prior to my injury. I would travel by myself, hike by myself. I valued my privacy, my independence quite a bit. And then after sustaining a cervical level injury, you really are dependent on everyone around you for everything. And for me, that's been the toughest part. I have improved my own ability to take care of myself, but I'm still highly dependent, and sometimes I just want to take the dogs for a walk or do something on my own, and I can't. And for me, that's the toughest part of having a spinal cord injury. I think there are a lot of misconceptions about what a spinal cord injury means for the patient and the family. But the biggest misconception is that it's just that you can't walk. It's so much more than that. I mean, everything about life is different. It's hard to take care of the basics. And life becomes hard from several different angles. Every single little thing, you have to think very tactfully of how you're gonna handle it. You know, especially at a cervical level, for me, the use of my hands has been, you know, diminished quite a bit. So it's challenging to pick up a glass of water next to my bedstand, or you know, to do basic things like my makeup and brushing my teeth and all of those things that you took for granted. It's not just about the walking, it's about everything else. And I think it's important that we educate the community of how life can be hard with a spinal cord injury. And so that's what we need to do. I was lucky enough to participate in Dr. Perez's experimental therapies and research study at the Shirley Ryan AbilityLab. For me, it was an absolutely amazing experience. The biggest highlight of my journey there was that I was able to take steps in a harness with a walker, but without the aid of a therapist. So that was super exciting for me. But beyond the actual functional gain, I was surrounded by others who had gone through similar injuries but were like-minded in terms of wanting to find a cure. I really found a community at Shirley Ryan and within Dr. Perez's team. And besides the steps, I also gained more function in my core. My balance improved, my weight bearing improved, and my overall outlook improved. For those of you considering engaging in a clinical trial, I highly encourage you to do so. Most daily life activities are impacted by my spinal cord injury. You know, it's not just what you would normally think when you think of an SCI. It's not just the ability to walk from one room to the next, or the need to have a ramp at every step. There's a lot more that you have to tackle with an SCI and kind of think through and problem solve for. One of the things that I struggle with that, you know, you might not see is just sleeping. I mean, at night, I can't fully turn myself from one side to the other. And if you're an able-bodied person, just imagine not being able to toss or turn at night when you feel the need, to not be able to pull the covers back on if they fall off the bed, or having to wake someone up to help you out. I mean, those types of things, you think about the help that you have during the day. Sometimes you even need the help during the night, and it's not something that you would think about, and it's definitely something that impacts me greatly that I have to work through. It's just one of those things. I definitely don't have all the answers when it comes to living life with a spinal cord injury, but some things that I've learned is to always try to look for the positive. That sounds cliche, but if you constantly challenge yourself to do that, it is very helpful. Push the limits. There are so many times I thought that there's no way I could do something, and someone said, just try it, and then I could do it. So that would be my biggest piece of advice. Life doesn't stop when you have a spinal cord injury. So find a way to still do the things that you love, and hang out with the people that you love and that you care for. Reach out to friends. A lot of times friendship dynamics can change quite a bit when you go through a spinal cord injury. So, don't sit back and just, let the world pass you by. Make sure that you're still reaching out to your friends, that you're still celebrating milestones and birthdays and holidays, and that you still keep to being you. And that's my biggest piece of advice. September is Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month, and I want to take this time to give a shout out to all the other spinal cord injury patients out there. This is a tough life, a hard life, but there's also a lot of opportunity to contribute to the world. So I want to say, keep it up, do what you can do, celebrate life. And I want to say a big thank you to the Walkabout Foundation for helping people like Dr. Perez and other research institutions like hers who are trying to cure paralysis, and they will one day. I have no doubt that I'm going to walk again, and I have no doubt that we will solve this problem called paralysis. Thank you to Dr. Perez and her team at the Shirley Ryan AbilityLab for giving me the opportunity to take part in her research studies, and thank you to all of those other participants who are going through this process with me. Can't wait to take a walk with you one day.